Quite possibly the longest piece of scrap metal I ever made. Alright, well there's our piece of scrap metal. I should have just left well enough alone. Chattering, no. I just hit it with some sandpaper and Scotch-Brite. All it needs to do is just fit inside this tube. Which it does. So this tube, being about 4 feet long and all, I'm just going to square off the ends in the mill. And I'll just side mill them off of there. Alright, so we got our pieces all cleaned up here. I gave this, the larger pieces, just, I think it's technically 3/4 aluminum tubing. I just gave it a quick hand polish. You don't want to see that on camera. That's a little inappropriate. Told you. So I cut off a couple little nubbins in the bandsaw. One of these ends is going to get an oddball size thread. 24 TPI, but just the oddball size. I think it was something like 850 thousandths or something like that. And then I'm going to press it in there, and then we're going to weld it up. And very similar on this end. Only on this end we're going to get a nubbin on that end, and this is going to get pressed into that, so something like that. And that's also going to get welded up. But as it turns out, I really suck at aluminum TIG welding. Yeah, get it all out. Yeah. I'm starting to get a little bit of a rhythm going on there. I didn't bother cleaning this up much. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. It has been a long time since I TIG welded aluminum, that's for sure. I can hardly even say that I've ever TIG welded aluminum. It's a little bit different. But anyways, I burnt up a lot of TIG rod. Well, not a lot. This is actually only, 4 TIG rods maybe, cut in half. I'm missing a piece somewhere. Not much of a TIG welder, I'll admit. This is the length of a normal tungsten, and this is what I ended up with towards the end of last night. Well, sorry about that, guys. Shitty camera angle again. There's our bead. I didn't add any filler wire. I just used the existing metal, and that'll be plenty good enough. It's not really holding a whole lot. Now the reason it's such a shitty picture is that I was just holding this on there with the frickin' earplug. So yeah, like I said, camera issues, guys. I tried the other one off camera and it worked out not too bad. This is the first try at this part anyway. And you know, it's good enough. I'm not going to complain about that. Most of it looks pretty good. Definitely need more practice at this, folks. But for all intents and purposes, I think we got it stuck on there. Looks like there's a little bit of crack starting there. You may have to, it's hard to turn it and add filler wire and hold the torch at the same time. Well, alright, I think we can call that progress. There's our other piece of the pole here. It's a pretty good fit. Okay, enough fooling around. So what we're going to need here, I was thinking of putting a set screw here, but I'm thinking we're going to have to put some kind of a clamp there so that it actually chokes off on that. But it needs something pretty girthy there to hold on to that, I think. And also a set screw will just mar up the surface, and you know, brass or not, I'm sure it'll eventually wreck it. So anyways, I got a chunk of excessively large 2-inch aluminum over in the lathe. We're going to turn it to fit this outer diameter on this, and then we'll take it from there. Well, okay. I guess we got something of a camera set up here. All right, change of plans, guys. And I know whenever those 5 words are muttered, it spells opportunity. For instance, I've never used a boring head before. Because what I'm going to be doing, I got to move this hole over, well, I guess about 150 thou off the center. Because I don't want it directly in the middle of that. So what I plan on doing is having a couple of ears there for the bolts to clamp onto. So how am I going to do this? I guess yeah, I really have no idea. So got to move it 125 thou off center. Or no, 150. Yeah, bring it. Let's just do it. We'll do the whole schwack. It's just aluminum. There's 125 and 30, 40, 50. And then I'm going to expand the hole yet on top of that to the whole diameter that I'm looking for. Right? Right. Actually, hang on a sec here. We can go a full 300. I think. Yeah, it should be right. I don't know, I've never used one of these before. We're just gonna go for it. See what happens. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. I think this is a bad idea. 1 second. Okay, no, we're just gonna do this a little bit at a time, I think. Play it a little on the safe side here. We're just gonna do, like, I don't know, whatever that is. Yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty rough. That's okay. Well, it is cutting it. Not very nice though. Okay, so that should be 150 thousandths last pass. Well, not last pass. Okay, now that we've established our new center line here, I'm gonna start. We're gonna have to start bringing this out now. So. One division is 1/1000th of an inch, so it seems like really easy to turn. Not sure I like that. Well, it is, I don't know if I'd say cutting it, it's more plowing it than cutting it. But it is leaving a not bad looking finish in there. I don't really think these bars are really meant for these kind of shenanigans. Maybe just little light cuts or something. Yeah, like there's 10 thousandths right there. Try that, see what that does. Yeah, it's a little better to listen to. 30,000 don't like that too much. Still want to be here all bloody day. Well, once I get to this edge and hit that little mark there, we should be very close to where I got to be. So I'll get back to you when I'm, closer. All right, so there was a slight change of plans. I tried a bigger boring bar with one of these carbide, brazed on carbide ones, but as you can see there, they are very, they are not on center at all. They're just terrible. So I made this a while back. This was actually a grooving tool. I kind of gave it a little bit of rake angle on the side there, just for the hell of it, just to try it out, because it wasn't working very good, that other one. But this is working pretty good, doing about 20 thou in depth every cut. So we should be getting very close. I'm going to take a little measurement here. It doesn't really have to be perfect, because it's just going to get welded on the outside of that not so concentric tube. So we are at, should be at 1 inch. And we are. Yeah, nice. So we got about 58 thousandths to go then. So at least that's accurate. This boring head is not very good, in my opinion. Like I haven't used a lot of boring heads, to be honest, but it's very sloppy. Like it doesn't take much, and this just becomes like super easy to turn. But so far it's accurate. We'll take another 40 thou pass. So we're bringing out the outside diameter by 40 thousandths. There's a lot less squealing, and that surface finish, I don't know if you can see that. It's really nice. Oh, let's bring this back up. Oops. Much smoother. Much smoother. Oh, it's so nice in there. Wow. We are now taking the full diameter. It should be about 17 thousandths to go. We may actually bring out the indicator for this. Just because it's good practice. It really isn't too super critical. And this is another thing right here. This screw up here has so much backlash in it. Like, look at that. Could speed it up, but I'm not going to. These belts are a little cumbersome to deal with. So this should be the last pass on the bore. that should be it. And that is a spectacular finish in there. Well, there you go, guys. Now you know how to move a hole. So what I'd like to do next is I'd like to mill this out and have 2 leftover ears over there. So I guess it would be nice if we just put some layout lines on there. Now all we need is some kind of pin that would work. Like this randomly freshly turned piece of scrap metal, which incidentally I think was the very first piece of scrap metal I ever made. But I made it less scrappy just now. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna set this up in a vise in such a way that I've seen done on YouTube before. I'm just gonna eyeball these kind of square with the vise, center lines there. I'm gonna start off by milling these flats right here. Since we don't got a great bite on there, I'm taking it pretty conservative with these cuts. I'm just seeing if we're gonna run out of flutes here. Here, I think that's good for that side. Okay, now we'll flip this around, and without changing our depth on here, we'll just eyeball that square again. I think eyeball will be close enough for this particular task. And now, in theory, with our height set already from the last one, and everything riding on this pin, we should end up with the exact same thickness for the other ear on this thing. So. Well, there's one more little thing we can do here before we swap this around. I don't suggest doing this with the drill chuck, but we're just going down with it, so this shouldn't be too big of a deal, I don't think. really like that. We just got a big room for the counter bore, so. Yep, that's her. Alright, that's her tap drill size for 1/4 20. Alright, this should be the countersink size. Well, they're kind of bigger than, well, we need clearance anyway, but we should be able to get away with this. I'm just going to use the table so I can get a better idea how deep I'm going. I only want to go about halfway through that. Oop, that'll mark our 0. Never drilled using the table before, or the Z-axis. Sorry guys, camera ran out of space there. So I drilled it out a little bit deeper, about halfway through with the table. It's kind of rough sound anyway. And then I just put a partial countersink in there. Don't really want to go too deep with it, plus I can't anyway. So, well, I'm not going to forget this time. We're going to run a tap through here too while we're at it. One less thing to do later. Get right back to you. Alright, well I took off that big hunk of meat there just to better illustrate my point here. So now that I've got it down to the scribe line there, which is pretty much where I want my depth to stay, it's just a matter of rotating this unit here and retightening it down. Well, once I get out of this corner, it'll be like that, but for now. I have a feeling this is going to take a while, guys. Alright, so you guys combining what I'm swathing here? I'm kind of running low on camera space here, guys, so I'll get right back to you. Alright, so this should be just about the last pass here, I think. We're getting very, very close anyway. We're going to have to start being really careful as to not dig into that ear. There's no real measuring involved with this. If a guy had a rotary table, I guess. No. Just gonna try to get it in as tight as I can in that corner. Pretty good, I think. The rest will just file out the rest of the way. Yeah, I'm going to call that good enough. Well, it's a little rough, but I think we'll be able to sand that out. All right, well, there's our little piece so far. That kind of puts it into perspective, though. Radio, guys. There's our new clamp feature for the top of this post. I pressed it on there with the old swing press, as you can probably tell. It's going to get cleaned up after. We've still got to weld it. Okay, it's probably not going to work at all. We'll see. Well, that's not bad. I get like an inch. I'm gonna have to put the camera away, guys. This is just way too hard. Alright, well, it's welded. I definitely added filler metal in there. No, I don't expect to get a perfect weld right off the jump. You know, it's not like I've done a whole lot of TIG welding, so I don't know. It's good enough for what I'm gonna use it for. Not really YouTube material. Well, I can live with that. Okay, so now all we got to do is put a slit down here, and I'm going to stick it in the bandsaw and cut it about halfway through, and then that's it. It's done. And because I planned everything out so well, I had to sandwich it in between two pieces of aluminum flat bar, and I got a couple parallels underneath it just to take up the height of this thing. And I also put a little mark there. I also angled this because I know it's kind of a sling saw, so I'm just going to manually control this so the blade doesn't take off on me. Alright, I filed some of that weld off of there. I'll probably clean it up some more yet. And I'm going to precision hacksaw this this slot in here. At least most of the way anyway. Yeah, that's pretty awful. Well, we'll try to clean up this mess as best we can here and hit it with some more Scotch-Brite. I'm not going to worry too much about this part. What's important though is that our top tube still fits in there. Oh, that's better. Still even got the still got the hairspring to it too, so that's good. And here's our screw. That should clamp down on that. Oh yeah, that works really good. Perfect. All right, well, I gave our parts a little bit of cleanup here. Looks good from the highway. So, I got the base, which is just an old speaker stand. And I gave it a little cleanup with a little bit of, you know, your household kitchen cleaner. Then we're going to take this piece and screw it into the base, and hopefully it works out good. Okay, kind of doing this freehand here. Hopefully didn't bugger up those threads beating it up there. No, looks good so far. Well, that's a million times better already. Now, woohoo! Oh, that is so much nicer. And I might have to put a thumb screw on it, or some kind of knob on this thing, but Now we got an actual view of the bench. I couldn't get the height out of it before like this one. Now you can see all the freaking mess. Well, it actually turned out to be a bit more of a project than I thought, guys. So I think we're going to stop it right there. I still got more to go. But for all intents and purposes, we have a very functional camera pole. Yep, that should be super helpful. I also forgot in my last video to thank my friend to the west for that lovely card he sent me for Christmas. I didn't get you nothing, buddy. Sorry. And also for the things that he doesn't want his kids to know about. So anyways, guys, that's it for this one. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. And all the best to everybody in 2022. Peace out.